What's up, YouTube? This is Alex Wink Michael, and here's what I got for you today. We're going to be talking about the January 2019 game sales numbers, hardware and software. NPD came out with their report, as they do every month, and it isn't too alarming. There's not a lot of mysteries on here. There's a couple, though, that we'll kind of talk about, a couple things that I'm like, what in the world? How is this possible? But before we do that, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to somebody that's kind of followed me for a little while, Dapper Phoenix. I just wanted to say thank you so much. This guy's amazing. He's really helped me grow in a lot of ways and kept me motivated in a lot of ways that he probably wouldn't understand. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for retweeting me and all the support, man. It is so appreciated. But with that being said, let's dive into today's video and let's talk about these numbers. What kind of grabs me a little bit is some of the games that broke the top 20, specifically the top 10, as far as sales numbers go. Now, I don't have exact dollar figures to assign to these titles, but I do have them obviously in a list of what outperformed what and what did the best. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about that and maybe build on a previous video I had released. But either way, it's good to be back to this kind of stuff as opposed to all the other craziness going on. But here we go. So we're going to go to an article here on VentureBeat. January 2019 NPD sales down as Kingdom Hearts tops game charts. I don't think that's a shocker to anybody. That is a massive release. Everybody loves it. I'll be honest with you, I don't love it. I know I'm probably just would get destroyed for that. Will be, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know why. I never have been. I played the very first one, didn't really, it was like, oh, okay. But either way, this is not a surprise. This is a massive release. Everybody's looking forward to it. So obviously the January 2019 game leader is Kingdom Hearts. Here's the kind of the gist of it. Gaming fans in the United States spent $893 million at U.S. retailers and on full digital game download games in January. Now, I will tell you with disclaimer here, not all of these numbers that are factored into these charts are accurate because some companies just don't report their sales, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is, unless they're low. That would be the only foreseeable reason that someone wouldn't want to come out and brag and say, hey, look how awesome we are. Let's kind of get down in the list here. One interesting thing, though, that I will say, and this is, quote, all segments of spending reflected double-digit percentage declines when compared to January 2018. That sounds kind of bad, right? Well, here's some perspective for you. January 2018 was actually like the second best January, like ever. So when you look at that, it's not as bad. January 2013 was I believe the best, which what the heck released in January of 2013 that made that number so staggeringly large? I don't know. So basically it says, despite declines, when compared to a year ago, January 2019 spending was the second highest market total achieved in a January month since January 2013. So maybe there was a better January before January 2013. But let's get to the list here. You had some pretty major releases in January. That is what goes without saying, but here's some just quick results. 893 million total, down 19% from January 2018. That is quite a bit, actually. Hardware was 199 million, down 28%. Wow. And I do know, I don't think it's in this article, but Nintendo actually was the hardware winner for January 2019, outselling both the PS4 and Xbox One. But this is the disclaimer I was talking about. Well, before we get to that, PC and console software, $427 million. That's a pretty decent number here, just in that category. But that's still an 18% decline. This is where I was talking about earlier. NPD does not include digital microtransaction DLC sales in these numbers. So if a game like Fortnite is sucking up a lot of cash, you won't see it reflected in these numbers. That is a very big thing to keep in mind as we kind of get more and more evolved into microtransactions and things like that. This is going to be interesting to see how they track this. NPD is basically the main resource for tracking digital, or I should say video game sales. So I hope that they develop some type of formula to figure out how to track these, because this isn't going away. here it is. Here's the chart. The best games of January 2018, this is actually 2019. It's an error in the article. But we had Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2, New Super Mario's U Deluxe. That one kind of surprised me a little bit. Black Ops 4 still up there at the top of the list. Smash Brothers Ultimate, Red Dead 2. Here's the sleeper that really shocked me. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. Wow, good for them. That is really good for them. They haven't had... This game this has got to be the best seller in the series, and I think it actually does say that. Going all the way down to the top 20. Some noticeable missing games. One that I can think of is, didn't Far Cry New Dawn come out in January? Boy, that's a big miss. But it is kind of like an expansion, so I don't know what the expectations were. But as we get down here, here's the best-selling games of the last 12 months. We got Red Dead 2, that's obvious. Black Ops 4, which makes the most sense. Those to be in the top 2. And then we kind of trickle down. Look at Far Cry 5. What a great year of release for that game. We have Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo, 3DS, which there's that. But that's it for the list. I don't know. I don't think there's anything too unpredictable here. I think that the sales numbers are kind of interesting. I guess they're interesting in terms of the decline. I think the decline really speaks volumes about where we are in gaming, because for all intents and purposes, January was a pretty jam-packed full release month. And that's kind of interesting that it dipped so low, especially I can't remember 2018. I know we had Resident Evil 7, but what else was there in 2018? I don't remember. That's really it. That's the NPD numbers. Nothing too alarming. I think that when you look at Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe and then of course Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, those two rounding out the top 5 speaks a lot to Nintendo, as well as them also getting the hardware nod for the month of January 2019. I think those two things really speaks volumes for the start to their year. That stock price is probably going to keep trickling up. It's been a little rocky the last few days, I've noticed. Been a lot of ups and downs, which Nintendo's stock price is hard to figure out, but that's another video for another time. I just want to tell everybody thank you so much for checking this one out. And thank you all for the feedback. My gosh, man, this has been overwhelming since I've started this, and really I just really want to thank everybody for the feedback they've given me, the comments and stuff. I mean, what an awesome thing. And just please keep leaving them. Please keep checking out videos. If you please like and subscribe, I love that. Helps my channel grow. And just sincerely, thank you all for everything. I will see you on the next one.